Hi class, and welcome to week 6. This week I really just want to go over the assignments that are due for you. I want to make sure that we're all clear on what I'm expecting of you as you turn in the shoulder complex worksheet and then also the spreadsheet that you have to create for the exercises that you would do on someone with a dislocated shoulder. So let me go over that part first. So you have to pretend that you have an athlete that has dislocated their shoulder. So just to point you in the right direction, especially a first-time dislocator, is probably going to have some sort of lesion to the labrum and potentially even the humeral head. That could include a slap tear. It could include a Hill-Sachs lesion. So make sure that you read your textbook. In your textbook, it gives you a general overview of a dislocated shoulder and the associated damaged anatomy. So make sure you cover that. You can also use online resources to help you understand a little bit better what occurs to all the anatomy when a shoulder gets dislocated. Okay, so let's say you have a good understanding of what occurs in a dislocated shoulder. Now, you're going to have to look up 4 different exercises. They can either be rehabilitative or preventative exercises for a dislocated shoulder. So I mean, I would prefer you having 2 of each, 2 rehabilitative and 2 preventative, just so that you are well-rounded in what it takes to either prevent or help someone come back from that type of injury. And just to kind of give you an idea of what that's supposed to look like, you can use Excel spreadsheet, and this is exactly how you're supposed to do it. I mean, I'm not asking for much more than this. I mean, obviously you can make your spreadsheet look a lot nicer. This is just a basic format, but essentially you need the exercise, sets, the reps, the times per week, and then I also need a progression of that initial exercise. And what I mean by that is, so here we have knee extension, right? Pretty basic knee exercise. Well, how would you progress that? You can add ankle weights to make it a little bit more difficult for your athlete. So you can get creative with the type of progression you want. The other thing I want to say about this is that you can decide whether you're dealing with the athlete in the acute phases, as in, a couple weeks right after the injury happened, or you can decide to deal with or you can pretend that you're dealing with this athlete later on in the rehab. Let's say they're close to returning back to play, so you want to do some more intense exercises. I'm fine with that. And then remember, you also have the preventative exercises, so you can look up exercises that help strengthen the musculature around the shoulder to help prevent shoulder dislocations. So I do want you, just to kind of help guide you here, so you're going to want to choose a basic exercise as your initial exercise, because then you're going to want to have room to be able to progress it, right? So that is the first portion, which is the spreadsheet, where you need 4 exercises, sets, reps, times per week, and then 1 progression exercise for each of those exercises. I'll say one more thing about that that spreadsheet that you're going to do for the prehab and rehab exercises. When it comes to the shoulder and dislocations, the type of muscles that you're going to be dealing with are typically the rotator cuff muscles, because those are the ones that help keep that humeral head tucked inside the glenoid fossa. So supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and subscapularis. Those are the muscles that are going to be kind of lasered in on or focused in on during the rehab process of a shoulder dislocation. So hopefully that kind of guides you in the right direction. Now the next portion of your assignment this week is the shoulder complex worksheet, which is this one right here. Pretty straightforward. You're going to have some matching using this illustration here. And then the next portions to that are the short answers. So the short answer questions portion of this deals a lot with the types of injuries that occur at the shoulder, including at the AC joint, the glenohumeral joint, and the musculature around it, including the rotator cuff. And you have to, the easiest way to get these answers is through your textbook. Make sure that you have your textbook and that you're looking these questions up there. Obviously, you can use other resources as well, but for the most part, you're going to find these answers in your textbook. And just to point out one other thing here. So, as far as evaluation methods or techniques, when I believe in the first cap or second cap that we did, many of you you guys were kind of looking at the word assessment, or I think assessment was the word that was listed on the cap, and I think you mistake that for, how would you rehabilitate or continue to progress that injury. But assessment in sports medicine means how are you going to diagnose that injury. And so this last portion of the short answer is listing 3 special tests that can be performed to determine neurovascular syndromes in the neck and shoulder region. So here it's asking for an assessment method. There's several special tests to look at neurovascular syndromes, but I only need 3 of them. And as far as neurovascular syndromes go, what we're discussing under this topic is anytime you have a disruption or irritation of nerve roots, peripheral nerves that go from the neck to the shoulder. And so when you're looking in your textbook, that's kind of the section that you want to be looking under. So once again, I hope this kind of helped clear up, what is due this week, and everyone's on the same page. So if you guys have questions, please let me know. We're in week 6, so hopefully these assignments don't take you too long. That'll give you some extra time to start working on the critical assignment. And if you have questions about that, please ask that early on so that you're not trying to put all of this together on the very last night that it's due. Okay? All right, guys. Have a great week. I will talk to you later.